Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban.
Get ready. Game 3, NaVi Alliance, DreamLeague Season 13. We are in the upper bracket. Winner gets top 6 at the major. Very important major, well, and a very important match exactly for that, because as Kyle said earlier on, this might just be your ticket to TI.
Hell yeah.
The amount of points you can get is like you're almost as good as done for, which both in CIS and in Europe, it's very tricky to get slots because it's very volatile regions. This is an important one.
And no, it's freaking Game 3. It's Alliance. It's freaking NaVi. They both took one insanely convincingly. Who's going to take Game 3? I don't know. Do you know, Kyle? Of course you don't. You don't know shit. I feel you might know, but, you know, I don't want to spoil it for the people at home.
Good. I was about to talk about this hero because in Game 1, NaVi, they banned it in their first 3 bans. In Game 2, they made sure to pick it in their first 2 picks. And now I think they're kind of stealing it again. I mean, it's not just a steal because, of course, the hero's good. They can play it themselves. But I think this is by far 3-3's best hero. So this is just how they're going to start their own draft.
Yeah, and they play it. Obviously, we saw it as a 4 last game, but they played as a 3 as well. So fits. I love it.
Yep, and they are once again not letting Alliance have that disruptor. We saw Hanskin on that in Game 1, and Alliance saw him on that as well in Game 1, and it was a little bit too good for their taste.
Yep, you do leave the Slark in, which obviously Doom's in the pool. Doom's good versus Slark, but Doom's good versus any carry hero. Let me see if they get it.
Yeah, they left Puck, another signature for the Alliance boys.
Ooh,
Puck Treant.
You got some team fight already. You got a lot of team fight, or team control, I should say.
Also, I just want to bring up real fast, this is the 4th consecutive upper bracket series that went to a full 3 games.
Yes.
Really
Love
good sign. You know, love that. I just honestly just love the game, right? You think back, we've had NaVi Alliance for like almost a decade now. Still high level of Dota. Still entertaining. It's been awesome to watch like all day long.
It's been actually crazy because obviously we saw the minor develop, and then at the end you've got that epic best of 5 with RNG and Nigma, and that were some crazy games in that. And you know, sometimes you have that finals. It's like, okay, you know, you gotta wait a long time before you have games like that again. And then we saw a couple of those games in the group stage, and we're like, wait a second, is this what Dota is becoming now? Are we gonna see those type of games all the time? And looks like the answer might just be yes.
And it's just cool as well because the teams are all playing so well.
Agreed.
It's not about
100%.
You typically would see a big dip in performance from online play to LANs, but it feels like everybody's stepped up. Like there's no one I point to. I'm like, oh, that's the weak spot of this team. Like if you made the upper bracket here, like you deserved it. And there's a reason these series went 3 games.
It is a little different than last series, right? Because both these games have been pretty one-sided, I would say, obviously for the other team. And that happened in the EG Nigma series as well. And then it turned into another one-sided game, which kind of, you look back at the draft, right? If it's one-sided, it's probably a draft thing. So I can't wait to see how the first 10 minutes play out. But we're not there yet. Slow down, Grant.
We gotta set those lanes up first with the heroes that the teams want to play. With the Lich Doom already, if you're talking about lanes, that's 2 very strong laners. So is Treant, and so is Puck, though.
Yeah. And I like it. They're realizing, like, wait, most of these games have been kind of decided in the first 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, Puck's also a very open hero, and I know it's one of Lim's better heroes, I think, overall, from his pool.
33 likes playing it as well, and I'm sure the supports can play it. You had to, like, a couple months ago.
I mean, everyone kind of plays Puck, I think, right now. The hero's been on the rise for a while. Of course, he got nerfed a bit, but still very solid, can be played in many lanes. And to be fair, he's not that hard to play, at least for most pro players. So
I love when that Puck nerf happened. Everyone's like, the hero's dead, and then first pick, first ban phase. You know, sometimes everyone misreads it. except that one guy who didn't and brought it back in.
I am happy it's no longer the game where puck just goes only physical damage items and just sits there and just is invisible the whole time and is just killing your base. So that was not a very fun meta.
Not a Setsu fan, anyway. Yeah, nothing. I was like, not a Setsu fan. He loved that, Bill.
I mean, I know he did. Yeah, I saw some clips. It's not my style, no. I don't think it's anybody's style to just see that happen all around. Right, so we got the Slark still banned second phase, PL out as well as the Winter Wyvern, and Alliance will get their ban pick combo out of this one.
Yeah, it's a bit curious to see whether this is a puck 4 or puck core.
Yep.
Pretty much everyone on Alliance can play it. I don't expect it to be Nico Baby, but anybody else is an option.
Welcome to the conversation, Kyle.
Yeah, we all three just talked about that a minute ago.
Really?
Yeah, it's okay.
He brought it up, and then I rebutted, and then me and Steve had a sidebar, and then
Hello.
I may.
I could have not thrown you under the bus, but that one's too obvious. Do not throw you under the bus.
Lifestealer, Kyle, what do you
This is
think?
a nice pick here. I like the Lifestealer. It's a good hero against the tree because you could always rage out of the root. There's a kind of like it's just a good anti-Doom as well because you just fight through it. Very strong against the Doom in lane. And it's just good synergy with the puck, right? You're going to have delivery.
Yeah.
10 seconds.
I'm trying to think. I like Mag here. I always like Mag, though. I still think that hero is super underappreciated. And I always I just love a hero that can win its lane and then be good against the carry hero since, you can just RP.
And a couple of the typical counters to Lifesteal are already out of the pool, and the PL and the Slark and the Morph, actually. Wyvern as well, actually. All 4 of these second phase bans were almost targeted at the hero. You still have options for NaVi. The TA is still in the pool. That really surprises me, especially considering there's a puck and a Lifestealer on Alliance's side. I imagine that's got to be your 4th pick for NaVi.
We've seen TA fourth ban every time, once by either team, but this series hasn't had a TA available yet in this phase of the game.
Yeah.
Honestly, Alliance could take it too.
I wouldn't mind that, truthfully. I feel like that hero's power level is just too strong, especially the way these teams play, especially the mid players specifically. These guys are the definition of aggressive pro ballers.
Yeah.
Look at the mids we've had so far, like the last game. When you see a Bat versus Quap, we talk about a time machine. Are we like at TI too? Because that's a matchup I think I've seen since then.
It's these two mid players. They're very similar, which always makes it fun, right?
Yeah. The only thing I wouldn't see Alliance pick the hero here, and I think it's kind of unrealistic that they will get it on the last pick. So I think it would kind of get banned before. Therefore, I think it would make more sense if NaVi try to pick it up at 18, at least if it makes sense after the incoming Alliance pick here.
Because you just don't want to pick it here and get like Huskard or something.
I think there's still a lot of counter picks open, like your Huskar, Viper, and so on.
You'd only really take it if you're actually, NaVi's going to take it, and you're like, well, shit, we forgot about it. But yeah, you're probably right. No one wants to get Huskard in a Game 3 at the upper bracket.
Definitely not.
Usually you just pick TA in the space where right after you get to ban for the hero and you take out the counters, so.
But now, I think that's probably what they're thinking of. They got to have a plan for that if it's the case.
Yeah, taking heavily into their bonus time right here. For Alliance.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a Drow pick up for NaVi again as the 4th pick either. It's a Manta BKB hero against the tree. The silence is very effective against the puck, and it's actually a really nice counter to the Lifestealer because you just hit him from afar, and you buy any sort of space. You've got Lich Armor, you've got 2 frontliners for you. We've seen how effective it is, and again, I just think that power level is quite underrated at the moment.
Hey.
There he is.
Bring that hero up a lot. Finally decides to show his face.
Another 3/3 special.
Yeah, actually, I was surprised to not see him play his offlane Chen. We didn't see it banned. We didn't see it picked. When are we gonna have the Zookeeper back?
Maybe it's out of flavor.
There's the drill again.
I like it.
They clap too.
What do you think of
NaVi just clap when they got the pick. They're like, all right.
Yeah, Posh has a huge smile on it.
It's good.
A real big smile.
And the thing about Game 3 is, again, I kind of always try and give an edge to the squad that's got the easier executable draft. And Drow lineups, like, you look at this, it's just Doom, the guy you need to kill, Lich Armor, the guy getting damaged. If you need to run away, pop Center Ult, and Drow just farm and deal damage. It's simple. And you also have this next pick here. I think Medusa is a possibility. or TA. Both magical specials. You've got a ton for it, and they're both synergized with Drow. And
Look at their heroes and look at last game. If they don't pick a quap, they're crazy. We got the draft, baby. Just run it back on them.
Run it back indeed.
Wow, it's the same.
The only difference is Lich instead of Disruptor.
But the other three.
Yeah.
But the rest is exactly the same.
He banned the Razor.
Weird.
Yeah, last game Alliance banned out Viper at this stage of the game, so Viper also still
Maybe,
cool.
yeah, maybe they're thinking about the Viper. It's quite nice here. It's a Doom Absorber, and it's quite good against the Centaur. Your draft would be a bit slow, but your potential when you 5-ball would be insane with an Abaddon Lifestealer and Viper cores. I'm pretty sure this is a puck for Hanskin at this point.
Okay.
And a Fada Tree, so you're going to last pick Limps Hero.
I think NaVi might even pick Viper, or it's a possibility for them at least.
That's very good here.
Yeah, and
point.
Alliance already banned Razor for you.
Yeah, this also, I believe, we saw in the series yesterday as well, where there was a Drow Viper against a Tree lineup, and they both had BKB Manta at a point, and Tree's just like, well, what do I do now?
Yeah.
Coach Mag in the drafting seat.
Nope.
And they ban out the Viper themselves, so... Oh, we got a shout, I love it.
I like it, and this is, this is a style hero. If you're not thinking TA before the pick, you got to be thinking it now. But with Drow Aura, this is definitely a very high skill matchup. And to me, I would just love to see TA versus SF in the deciding game 3 of NaVi versus Alliance. Please give it to me.
I mean, there's surely are these supports that would actually help our mid lane, or are we going to see a true mid matchup without rotations or without a lot of rotations?
I mean, neither team really has the best heroes that are gonna, cruise by middle. Maybe Doom, if he gets a good creep and his lane is going well, he might come in from behind. But it should be a one-on-one in mid lane in this game.
Love it. Just need a good matchup though. Otherwise, it's not gonna be as much fun.
I think TA makes a lot of sense for them. I think it synergizes as well with Abba and Nix, but
there's a Rubik, so Puck will be made against SF. How does Puck do against SF?
It's typically Puck favored. You have more base damage at the start. Definitely. The Drow Aura does help equalize it. It's very, we saw this matchup yesterday as well. If the Puck wins the block, SF has to skill nuke first, push the lane. If you get double waved, you're in big trouble. If you get the lane control yourself, you can skill souls. It's a really interesting decision here. A lot of emphasis now on Nico Baby to just go off, but looking at this lineup, I again just feel like NaVi's got the easier game plan. They can translate kills into objectives easier, and it's Drow and SF. I've yet to see this composition lose.
I want to hear Kazu.
I would say that NaVi has just to add on to his point, I think they have the easier lineup to play.
Okay.
I also think that just Roshan is really easy for them in this game compared to Alliance, and therefore I would favor NaVi's draft slightly here.
All right, let's find out what's going to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, Game 3, NaVi Alliance with Odie Pixel and Fogged.
You might wish to retract your last move.
Prepare for battle.
We've got it, the all-exciting Game 3 between NaVi and Alliance. We've had 2 games so far, both of them pretty much have been sort of showcases from either side, right? Game 1, it was all Alliance. Game 2 was pretty much all NaVi. We're here in the Game 3. Giannis, what do you expect to see?
Well, it's Limp playing another one of his heroes, right? Limp seems to be playing like his style every single game, and I mean, I do love me a good Limp puck. Should have a pretty okay start in that mid matchup, of course, versus Shadow Fiend, as you have that huge base damage advantage. So definitely going to be looking at how well he does there, because he definitely could just own Magical at least those first few waves, and then you get that big lead at the start. We'll probably see the raises just get skilled immediately, as always, as we see on the Shadow Fiend in these type of occasions, so that he can actually last. He already has the 2 mangoes already prepped, so you'd imagine so he can secure that range creep.
Obviously, with a lot of Navi's draft as well, similarities to what they did do in game 2.
Almost identical. Yeah.
Do you think that's is that a wise move, or do you think that's something that Alliance have clearly switched up their draft in response to? And I feel like we've seen before, you know, teams when they do stick to a very similar draft game into the next one, it does get countered.
I do think they definitely have some stuff in preparation. I don't know if they like knew exactly that the Centaur was going to be coming around or anything like that, but they have Puck and Treant Protector versus a Centaur. This is excellent heroes versus that, because you pop the Stampede, if you get them inside of the root or inside of that coil, they're kind of just stuck there. Right away we see those raises versus the orbs, and Limp has a pretty good positioning here at the lane, because he's going to be able to, if he's able to secure these, he can actually further pressure if he goes for on top of the Shadow Fiend here on this next wave. With that phase shift, he can dodge some of the raises too, and mess with SF Lasses. Yeah, Limp should have a good time here anyway, so. And there's also other things that happen in this game that we don't really see traditionally too often anymore, but Puck and Lifestealer. There's an Infest Bomb in this game, and there is a Drow Ranger. Infest Bomb versus Drow is pretty scary if they can just, you know, accomplish it, which they should be able to with the way that their draft is. They also have ways to protect versus the Doom this time, unlike last time. They actually have a hero that can heal. You know, that Abaddon will be able to actually hopefully counteract a little bit of that Doom for the side of Alliance. Well, Navi, though, like you said, very similar draft to last time, but they don't have the Disruptor, which I thought was actually massive for them.
It did.
Ilias got so many plays where he caught like Alliance overextending, and then he would glimpse them back out of position. So that was one thing that I felt so big.
They definitely do still have catch, but you are going to feel that lack of Disruptor for sure.
Yeah. And the catching Puck should be pretty damn difficult. They've got the Sinister Gaze, right? They've got a Gust, but what's the real lockdown for a Puck in this game? Like Centaur stun, sure too, but they're tough. They can be pretty hard ones to land, so Puck could have a pretty good time being very elusive. And Bosch is taking him for a walk. This is a little weird here.
Look at this. From the off lane all the way down and over into the safe lane jungle area.
Okay.
So I mean, well, it's what Fada and Hanskin, they're staying persistent. Obviously for Pasha it's a little more painful. He is the man who needs the farm. Right. That's that position 3. And he's now going to TP back to the lane top, but the creep wave,
where's it going to go?
It's pulled over. You know, Nico Baby's got control. He's trying to find a wave. He's finally found one, Pasha.
Look at the Radiant creeps. Where are they going to go to the mid lane then? Or where the hell is these guys? Okay, range creep's going to go there, but melee creeps, okay, one of them went to mid, another one's traversing across the river. So we've got, I believe a few of those melee creeps went to the mid lane, and then one range creep is like, I'll just take the other path, I didn't really care. I love when I see that. But yeah, we did see Lifestealer. He was doing the right thing. He was pulling the creeps to the neutral, so he was maximizing his farm during that one. And now they actually met themselves bottom for tri lane versus a Drow Ranger. So Drow has to be careful of her positioning down here now.
And do you think they'll keep it like this? Yeah, well, that's support focused out. You know, you could just leave that top lane to be as it is. You know, the Lifestealers have that good start. He's going to be fine on his own, right?
Yeah, start down here with your supports, but you probably want to look to make moves, and just because you don't want to split tri-lane experience. Like, just get some pulls going on or something along those lines so you don't just split full. Unless they bring that third hero down and then you just battle, which that is going to be the case, it seems like, as Zayat. He finds his Alpha Wolf, as he always does seem to do.
Very nice in this lane, especially with the Drow punching away.
Yeah.
You're going to have a good amount of right click. Curry does go down, standard stealth side, is able to walk in and find it.
He's got no regen now on 33 because that courier goes down.
And Fada was trying to get some out for him. Not going to be the case. Looks like Hansken, he's still got some regen to hand out, so we'll be able to keep 33 in tip-top shape. The top lane, you know, obviously off the back of that start, Nico Baby is having complete free farm, 27 and 12.
And Pasha kind of has to kind of manipulate the wave up here because the advantage Nico Baby's been given. He can actually just hit him. He has a straight javelin. He actually didn't go phase boots, just a straight javelin versus Centaur. Yeah, pretty cool actually. That little bonus damage can definitely really add up because of your attack speed.
No, I mean we've seen I can't remember who was some of the Chinese players. You know, if you
was it Eurus maybe?
Yeah, I think so. You know, if you do have free farm as a Lifestealer now, the best efficiency is just to go for the straight up Maelstrom, no boots. The sooner you get that Maelstrom, the sooner you're going to be able to clean out neutral camps, and it's just going to bring in the boots and everything else that little bit faster. So thanks to this area of space that he was given at the start, he can get away with this more efficient build.
Yeah. Now Zayat's, the punches are adding up. He's gonna be able to get out of range. 33's not able to close that gap. Yeah, it's like Centaur actually can't like trade hits. Sometimes in these matchups, like as a Centaur, you build up your retaliates and you can trade hits. But now with the javelin, yeah, it makes it impossible to. And the levels, of course, with Lifestealer. But
yeah, getting those retaliate stacks hurts.
That might be. We might find this might be the earliest Maelstrom of all time. Right?
On a Lifestealer?
Lifestealer.
It was a quick one in that game in the mine, but yeah, this one is definitely got to be up there. If
he's 500 away.
If he gets that Mithril Hammer sent out ASAP, it's going to be very, very quick. We'll see if we are able to bring up a stat on that if things continue as they are, and it looks like they will. You know, no one else is going to go up here anytime soon on NaVi, so Nico Baby will have all this space.
I mean, this is cool, right? Like, that's going to be pretty insane. Mid, pretty much dead even. First few waves, Limp was doing excellent, but then SF, you get your levels. You're able to just always constantly put those raises and push the wave in. And he's pretty much got it done. All right. So 6 minute Maelstrom if he does choose to buy it and bring it out. Rune being checked. Nicely done there by Zayats. Since he does have a bottle versus bottle matchup, you want to have your supports checking those.
Yeah, make sure.
Yeah, that's Maelstrom is done. It's on the way on its courier. Okay. So 6:0, I believe it was like 6:05-ish when we saw it.
It's a 6 minute.
It's probably, I think it's probably one of the fastest ones we've ever seen, if not the fastest ever.
Well, down bottom. Crystallize. As the Frost Shield, Fighter's going to try and get the Slow of the Nature's Grasp.
Limp wants Crystallize.
They're going to use the Dream Card here. They really want to get a kill out of this rotation, and they will. They'll find Zayats.
He so wanted the Drow Ranger there. He tried to even waiting forward or forward. Yeah, he just couldn't get on there. And
there's 4 heroes hunting for that.
That just looks weird.
I mean, as I said, but it's perfectly fine.
I'm sure.
You've got 4 points now in the passive, so you have great attack speed. Your farm rate is just going to go through the roof. Yeah, looks like so we did have another fast one this tournament, but indeed this one 42 seconds faster than that other timing that we saw earlier this tournament. So
insane.
Very impressive, and honestly, you just got to keep your eyes on that Lifestealer. Nico Baby's farm is going to skyrocket unless NaVi can get over there and do something to slow him down. Bottom lane, 33. He's feeling the power of this tri-lane. NaVi will, this time around, be able to kill him off.
Yeah, this tri-lane is definitely a problem for Alliance. This Alpha Wolf aura is way too strong with the Drow Ranger sitting in the back lines, and they have great ways to just like run at you. You put the Frost Shield on the Doom, and that's exactly what we saw. 33, he's getting slowed down quite heavily. And compared to Pasha, who's level 6, he's 2,200 net worth. Loving life up here. Even though he's versus this Maelstrom Lifestealer, he's still getting his own farm. So I think Limp is probably going to be the one that tries to bail them out. Whenever he does see an opportunity for him to TP or set up on that bottom lane, he will more than likely. Actually, no, they decide, you know what? Screw it. Let's just move the lanes. Lifestealer goes bottom, and they send the Abaddon top. Okay, that's another approach.
I think we're going to see NaVi switch something around in response to that.
Yeah, they already completely left the bottom lane. As soon as Nico Baby did show himself.
And here comes Brown Boots coming out. Of course, Phase Boots will be done very, very shortly.
A tip? Guess because he got the ward in the mid lane.
Well, mid lane that has gone very, very even.
He's got a haste rune. So Limp, we're probably going to see him get very active, and now 33. These guys just kind of run around here.
I mean, if they want, they have to stampede, and of course 33 yet to hit up. Stampede, get Magical in position, and that will be a very hard skill for Magical to get the step across, get himself involved in. 33's game continues to slow down pretty heavily. He's having a rough opening to this one.
Yeah, not great. As he was, put in that bottom lane for them to try to get him that good levels and good farms. But yeah, he's just getting quite crushed everywhere he goes. He's got to find himself some way to find that space so he can get that level 6 so he can be a lot freer.
Tower is under attack.
I do think, though, at the moment, he won't be too worried about how bad his game has been hindered because of how well Nico Baby's game's gone so far.
Yeah.
He knows that this lifestealer, he's just huge. This is a massive lifestealer this early on.
It's a decision they made, right? That's what happened.
That's
Set
a
up a
trade.
lane. That's a trade. Yep, exactly.
And more money for Nico Baby. The tower is claimed. We'll see where he heads next. He can pretty much just move from lane to lane and start just being this presence. He's going to find.
Oh, he finds a nice, juicy stack here.
He's going to do a decent job of farming through this as well with that Maelstrom. Sure, it's not necessarily quick, but it's relatively safe. He's got the living armor. He's got a bit of lifesteal.
He steals the farm from the Drow, right? That's and the Shadow Fiend. That's really
They're salving him up as well, making sure that he can fight through the stack. And he's slowly but surely taking it away from them.
Yep. Fada does go down bottom.
Distraction.
And another, how many, wait, is that the third or fourth ward that I've seen the Alliance lose already, actually? They've lost pretty much all of their wards. Now the Infest, though, does come out. You mentioned that at the start. They are going to look to get aggressive with that one quite a lot.
They might want to go for this as well. They do still have Dream Coil if Limp can get in. It's got to open a second, but looks like he doesn't want to try and commit past you. Fair bit too tanky, and they know that there is a likelihood that NaVi can bring him back up around that shrine area to come down upon them. So they'll let him go. They ended up to pull away from the Ancients for that, so some of the Ancients will remain there for NaVi to claim themselves. But definitely able to take a little bit away from NaVi there, and can now start to eye up the potential of pushing down another tier 1 tower on this top lane.
Onskin, the slow coming out, that multi-shot. Can't quite avoid it at all. A couple more hits and he will just easily get brought down. He was being greedy, farming down there. They do have a catapult still alive bottom, so maybe we will see NaVi continue that pressure to try to go for the tower here. Looks like Crystallize is trying to force the lane in. Nico Baby trades up top.
I mean, it's another Nico, he's just having the dream game.
Yes, that's 2 tower life.
6-minute Maelstrom, you farm, free farm top, you free farm bottom, you get a last hit on the tower bottom, you steal some Ancients, you go top, get the last hit on the tower there. He is having an amazing time.
He didn't steal all the Ancients, but he did take some.
He took some, he got a couple out of it.
Lots of TPs coming down Limp. He gets the coil onto the Drow.
They've got the Stampede though. They're smart, they save it until the coil's be used. He goes for the TP in the trees and he's gone. Nothing else to catch him. Crystallize remains alive. Does have to do so. It's obviously the plus for NaVi being at the moment the short Crystallize. He's a decent sort of 2K behind the lifestealer, but they have this sort of duo carry setup. The SF is very much just as much of a position 1 as the Drow is this game.
Yeah, and they're looking. I believe they're still looking to stack and continue looking at those Ancients. And look at that, a quick early Shadow Blade.
Shadow Blade SF.
Up on Magical.
All right.
Seen a lot of plays with Requiem that people have been doing lately.
I mean, it is very strong now. That fear, that pushback. If you can get yourself in some sort of a position to shove the enemy into the line of fire of the Drow, or shove them deeper into the lane, but underneath your towers, you can make some very sweet plays. But you do kind of have to make those plays right. You've invested in the Shadow Blade very early on. You've got to make it pay off.
Yeah, it's still a good item overall, though, right? Like if they don't have detection and they go for a play with like Puck Lifesteal, just invises. Sometimes something devastating can happen when you just don't realize it at some point, but they'll notice it pretty early on.
I mean, that's still solid. This level of play, one of the reasons why we don't see a lot of Shadow Blade is because turning up without detection, that's not really an option if you're a professional player.
It happens, though. It
does happen. It does indeed happen to the best of us.
Oh, he gets pulled again. Hanskin found again down bottom. Second time now. Playing a bit greedy and getting punished.
They are getting their Crystallize involved in a lot of kills with the way that they were able to play that tri-lane.
Yep.
And Drow's suddenly getting a good bit of action in this early point of the game. Limp's on the hunt, just going to pop the Dream Coil, finds himself Science, jumps in with the DD, has no trouble taking down the Doom alone.
Man, that waning risk cast range with the talent is so far. Pretty crazy.
And on top of that, he's going to have to blink pretty much done in a few creeps time. So the reach and catch of Limp, it's going to be massive.
And getting into the backlines, right? That's what we just keep talking about. You're playing versus Drown and Shadow Fiend. Getting into the backlines is going to be absolutely everything for the side of Alliance, and they have you know, they have the Infest Bomb. Also, of course, you know, Fada did get an iron, you know, the GG tree on tree.
Got it again?
Yep, sure. That'll be nice for him.
Still 2k lead for NaVi, the Magical's SF. He's using the space very nicely. They haven't been able to get in on him, as you say. You know, with the Shadow Blade, it is harder. They have to come over, prepared to go. He's going to go for the BKB next, so then he can really start making these aggressive plays, leading him with the Shadow Blade, and obviously through the BKB, not really a whole lot that Alliance can do to bring him down. Obviously, there's a little bit of control there, but in terms of damaging the SF, it's going to be hard. If he's able to stand his ground alongside the Drow, he's going to hit very hard.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely the right item choice. I think we'll probably see the Drow do the same thing, crystallize after the Hurricane Pike.
Hit that BKB.
Yeah, I think it's just such a good item because they have such good ways to get into the back line. That's the kind of the way you counter. Clever wards coming out. So NaVi seem to be very prepared in this series, in particular for the warding game. Because like I said, I think they dewarded like 3 or 4, I want to say, early on and limited some of Alliance's vision. And now they put down such deep vision that they can look to make these deep aggressive plays because they have a lot of information of where Alliance is.
Hanskin's been caught out a couple of times on this half of the map. Doesn't look like he will be this time. He stays back, keeps it safe. Grove Bow is found for NaVi.
Pretty good time to get a Grove Bow when you have a Drow Ranger and a Shadow Fiend on your team. You know,
one of those will certainly take it. It kind of depends who's got the slot ready to go, as both of them are farming very well, Magical and Crystallized.
SF benefits more a little bit, right? Because he actually has magic damage, so he actually benefits from that aspect of it. But
sure, but I mean,
it depends on the slots.
Having the range and obviously the double benefit with the multi-shot can also be appealing to the Drow.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's for sure. Right, so the jump.
He is in, he's hunting, obviously ignores Pasha, he goes straight for the big one, finds himself the catch onto Magical. Very nice move from Lim.
And he had the dust prepared, as you saw there. Even though Shadow Blade was on cooldown, they were prepared with their dusts, they know.
And I say, for me, the Shadow Blade is definitely a little bit of a question mark. I want to see what he's able to do with it.
Yeah, because
it's not going to save you from those sort of plays. Lim, he's going to have detection every single time. He's going to be making that jump on you, and effectively that's 2,800 gold that isn't going to keep you alive.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen a lot of players just prioritize just getting the BKB on Shadow Fiend because it's just something you absolutely need as the Doom comes out, but it's right next to an Abaddon. 33. He's got to look to just keep healing him up there, and he should just be fine on the Rubik.
And maybe even the chance to, probably not a chance to turn with Crystallized being there, but definitely that big long cooldown put to waste.
And that's why we saw the Abaddon picked up in particular, as in comparison to last time they didn't have that type of heal to counteract that. And we do see the SF, he takes the presence or affecting buildings since he has Drow Ranger on his team too, so.
All right. Okay.
And he will be getting his BKB at a decent time, but yeah, the Shadow Blade, he's already gotten punished once because of it, and he hasn't been able to make an aggressive play with it yet. Such a good, I mean, this is kind of the build now on Leipzig that we see, but if this game is any game for it, it's like the perfect one. Halberd versus a Drow and a Shadow Fiend, that long disarm versus those range heroes, fantastic. But still, 3K, NaVi, they're keeping the lead throughout all of this one. Just farming a bit more efficiently around the map. I think like, because, you know, 33, he's in a Abaddon. He can't actually farm at that type of pace. And then Hawk, so it's like, they're just getting out farmed a little bit here.
Yeah, it's feeling like one of those games that you do see with the, you know, this position 3 Abaddon, where if you don't start to roll over them very early on, you just slip back into sort of being a third support in terms of your value. Obviously, yeah, very nice support to have. Having that save is always great, and there's going to be the chance for him to scale back up later on. But for this point of the game, he's got to be careful. There's not a huge amount he can do and offer offensively against these hard-hit, you know, Crystallized and Magical. Every single fight we've seen down on that bottom half of the map in Alliance's jungle, NaVi have been very confident about taking it. Yeah. They know that they've got that edge.
Hanskin versus Zayats. He gets another card. I feel like this guy gets so many corners in these games that he just walks up and hits once.
They'll get him for it. They will. But it does feel like all a bit of a distraction. I think Zayats, he's more than happy to throw his life down there. 4 heroes being drawn towards it. Sure, Alliance, they've got the Lifestealer farming, but NaVi, they've got the Drow and the SF farming an absolute treat. And when you sort of put them side by side, I feel like the SF Drow together offers just that bit more of a scare than the Lifestealer alone.
My master.
He is very big, though. That Lifestealer
is
very far, but the BKBs, those are going to be really tough for him to deal with until he does get his basher so that he can like keep them held down and keep getting those extra hits on them.
There we have
There's one.
BKB done for Magical. So
I mean,
he's ready to go.
They can look to go, yeah.
And it's also very hard for Alliance to get over there and kill him off. We saw them get away with it before. Limp's able to make these moves, jump in. They're going to go for the smoke play now. They do have to be careful about smoking into the SF's BKB.
But they have the 15, as we saw. It's a full spellcaster puck this game. Lots of magical damage will be coming out from Limp. They're on the prowl, trying to get some vision out, I think, in particular with this smoke. Also, maybe try to get a kill, but right now they were a bit limited on any type of info. It's going to be him.
Besides, again, he'll take this. He'll happily give his life, because bottom lane, NaVi, they're making a play as well. They'll find themselves a support in time. They catch out Fado, it's a 1-for-1. But it's just the difference now. You know, NaVi with that play, they're going to start moving to tier 2s. Okay, Alliance will also look for an objective off the back of that pick. They'll go straight into Roshan.
With the Abaddon, with the DD on the puck. Got the Vlads as well, but
NaVi's heading over.
They seem to know.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And they do have, Blink Centaur. They've gotten some good item timings together.
Alliance don't quite do Roshan quick enough to be confident to really fully commit for it. NaVi, on the other hand, with the SF and Drow, they can take it pretty well, and they do have means to sort of get out if the fight does go south. They have the Stampede available. They have ways to disengage.
Onskin just showed himself.
And it's going to cost him his life. Maybe they are bringing in more, though, Alliance. They do want to try and take this. It's coming over towards that tier 1 tower. And in they go. Nico Baby leads forward. Lips in with the 3-man dream call. Nico Baby trying to focus damage with the Stampede pop. The chain frost down. They're using the overgrowth, but it's not enough controls. Alliance, they're having to back off. The Doom was there to do it. They're trying to heal up Nico Baby, keep him safe. As he'll be able to back off. They will manage to heal up the Lifestealer. NaVi pushing back Alliance, though. Hands get brought back to try and make something big happen there. Maybe Alliance want to go in again. Lim, he's got Nico Baby deep inside him once more. He's going to look for the chance to jump forward with the Arcane Rune. Dream Core's coming back online very shortly. In just about 10 seconds, Alliance can look to make another play. And now they know there's no Doom, there's no Stampede. This could be a good window for Alliance to punish them.
And they forced the BKB on the Shadow Fiend. You can see Magical was holding it for so long. He was waiting for the root. Fado was also trying to hold his root, waiting for the BKB SF.
Well, Magical, is he going to show? No, he's going to keep him in. And in fact, he showed off. Pasha, he gets the jump. Lim gets blown on. Nico Baby is still going to try, despite the fact that he's lost the puck in this fight. He has to use the rage. He's trying to turn and take down Zayas, but he's got to respect the right click. A Crystallizer Magical is now Alliance on the retreat. They back away. Danskin's trying to keep something going as he lifts up Pasha, but there's no damage for the Centaur. 33 borrowed times committed. He'll get out of there. Nico Baby still trying to step forward, but they cannot fight Alliance without Lim. Lim getting jumped on like that by NaVi puts an entire stop to the play that Alliance was looking for. That means that this window that NaVi don't have the spells, they're going to be safe for it. They're going to be able to hold off and make sure the fight doesn't happen before they get their ults back online.
Great jump by Pasha. Limp was just a bit slow there. He's got to be a little bit faster with those phase shifts because you can see that one. That's one of those that sometimes we're like, he got hit by a Centaur Stomp with his blink up, or he was pucking that one, so it's a lot easier to just click the phase shift. Yeah, caught off guard. They're not expecting that one at all, and there's a costing him. His net worth is starting to dwindle
and his game
quite a bit.
It's going to get harder. Pipe is done on Pasha, so another answer to the magical burst that Alliance were relying on to get those kills early on. Yep. They're going to go back into the Roche pit. We'll see if they get away with it this time. NaVi, they do have members around.
Doom
not too close though. And Alliance, will they get away? NaVi, they're being drawn towards maybe that top lane. They may get distracted by Fado, who did show for a little bit. And it's going to be the space that Alliance need to get the Roshan. They'll get Aegis onto Nico Baby. A very important pickup for them to find. Just, being 4 or 5k behind, they needed that desperate lead. Fado will get jumped upon. He's in the trees, but they have the Roshan. He's trying to run. He does pop the ult. He's on the back lines. Jumps straight away onto Crystallize and is able to isolate him as the Drow. Huge read for Limp. Smart jump, and now off the back of that, they can push on the tier 2. They had a creeper a second ago, so backdoor will still be off. That's going to kick back in a second, and NaVi are trying to cut the creep wave.
It seemed a little overambitious there for NaVi, right? Like, they just had gotten the Aegis picked up. Limp had just came back to life, and then they tried to make a play on a tree right there after all that happening. It just seemed like it was a little over-aggressive.
Yeah, definitely.
For them to try to do so.
Definitely not the move there from NaVi. No need to throw bodies at Farta.
We can see how fast, like, Limp is literally like, Infest is up, let's go. Like, it seems like every single time Infest is ready to go with that coil, they are looking to just try to take that fight, which makes sense, right? Like you said, when they're playing versus Drow, Shadow Fiend, and NaVi getting a lot of this farm, if they're able to just hold their ground and they can stand inside the coil and just hit back, that's when you're gonna start getting really scared of lines. So they need to keep the tempo going.
Yeah, Limp's got to find fights like this for his Lifestealer. Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, this SF's going to take over. You see it already. Magical, he's pretty much up there, the same net worth that Nico Baby is as this Lifestealer. He's been cleaning up the map perfectly. The levels are flowing in. He's nearly level 20 on the SF, and he's going for that Manta after the BKB. So
they have
an extra way to play out of it, out of the overgrowth and such. Lots of ways to remain elusive and stop Alliance from being able to blow you up with that first commitment.
Pretty much like every time you're versus Tree, you gotta go your Mantas, you gotta go your BKBs, especially if you're versus this much magic damage. So both cores, the Drow Ranger and the Shadow Fiend, will go for Manta, will go for BKB in this game. Does have the damage per soul now, so he does get a pretty big power spike here on Magical. But Fada, he's lurking.
Let's see it, Elias, he's hunting. Finds Fada, they drag it into the race, it's got their slip, and Nico Baby with the counterplay, they jump fall, go for the Dream, Magical tries for the TPO, Nico Baby's got the match, Magical is patched up, some people not save him, Elias in the trees, does not even manage to get away either, as they lift him up, they get the two of them, the bash being there, and NaVi again, they're getting punished for hunting that sexy tree.
Yeah.
They're getting distracted every single time by Fada, they lose those two heroes up top because of it, and they lose to and a big hero as well. Magical going down because they're getting baited by Farta.
They have to be careful. Like we said, every time Infest is up, Alliance is making a move. You have to be able to read that a bit here as NaVi. And when you're making a play like that, you're pretty deep with not a lot of heroes. You are pretty isolated down there, making that aggressive play right next to Alliance's towers. And yeah, they get punished. And that's going to be a bit of a lull period too, right? When Shadow Fiend does die, it's like a double ow. Because not only does he BKB, not only does he lose his souls, but now he has to go like reacquire them before they can even look to take a fight. It really does hurt so much when you do die as Shadow Fiend in these type of positions.
They can't afford to go out hunting like this, NaVi. They need to look at their strengths. Their strengths, right? If they gear up and start pushing as at least 3 of them. Going out as just the 2, it's always going to end in disaster. Limp's going to be there reacting every single time with the plays.
He blinked up there, huh? He's gotta wait till he can get down. But yeah, it's like, I think when you're playing with, like, Pasha's playing Centaur, let Pasha do the initiating. When you're doing these type of crazy plays, you're putting yourself in a bit of a forced position, and that's when Alliance can actually respond so nicely. And we see level 20 talent, of course, now picked up also for Lifestealer. So this is a big spike also for him after the Halberd. He's got that 20% evasion talent versus the Drow Ranger and the Shadow Fiend. It's pretty good. There's a quiver and all that too, but it still is a nice item, a nice timing that a lot of players do talk about on that Lifestealer, yet extra evasion that kicks in.
Lotus Orb's done for 33 now, so he's going to have a way to help guarantee the rage gets off, obviously, for himself, just making sure he can remove the silence, allow him to aphotic shield off his teammates, so he can have multiple ways to get multiple heroes back into fighting shape, even if Crystallize is able to line up a perfect gust.
And even maybe potentially Reflected Doom. That's one of the big ones I've seen a lot of times lately, is these reflecting dooms, and then you can't cover your doom, which allows Hanskin to actually instantly steal the doom afterwards, because you just get insta silence. So you're always going to be able to get doom if you do get the Lotus before that. And also, speaking of Hanskin, he does have Chain Frost actually stolen at the moment in that last situation. So only has a little bit of time left on it, but yeah, Lions have reclaimed the gold lead. And I just realized that it's only 10 to 11. I thought there was a lot more kills in this game one, but no, there has actually not been that many in this one.
Oh, still a lot of interesting moves though throughout. And there we have it.
He's just
it's about to go.
It's beautiful.
Farm out a creep wave. Does give up your position, but he knows. TP's away. And if anything, wasted a bit of time at the smoke of NaVi. As NaVi, yeah, they won't be able to find anything with that. They cannot make a move on anyone. They've got to get back. The wave's pushing in on mid.
I'm always a little bit of a, you know, I like playing Rubik and all that too. It's like sometimes you always want to use that Chain Frost, but now in the next situation, if there's a fight in the next 60 seconds and he steals Chain Frost, it's still going to be on cooldown. But that probably won't happen, and he probably won't even look to steal from the Lich.
True.
But yeah, it's like you always,
if that happens,
well, you always get tempted as these Rubik players because you're like, I have the spell, I have to use it, you know.
Sure, and
sometimes it hurts.
He doesn't think he's going to get it again.
I don't think he's going to really look to steal from the Lich, but I mean, it doesn't matter. It won't really matter if it's just something to point out that's funny.
I guess what top priority is, what your Zayas is your Pashes, your Dooms, your Stampede.
Doom and your Stun, your Stampede, yeah. Or even Requiem. Requiem is a big one too that you can steal because the fear applied and the extra damage is really good with Rubik. Yeah. Actually, Requiem is my favorite besides Stampede.
It's just for the ultimate fight stuff.
Yeah. I mean, Doom is great, but Doom is pretty tough to get in most times. Alliance, continue this little bit of map dominance for these last few moments. We're going to have about 40 seconds until the outposts do come up. NaVi does want to push out toward theirs that they have bottom to make sure that they keep it. Oh, an interesting talent also this game for Hanskin. Usually the cast range is picked up on Rubik, but since he's versus Drow Shadow Fiend, he's actually opted to go for the extra Fate Bolt reduction. It's gotten buffed a couple times now. What's it actually jump it up to? It's pretty damn high, right?
Well, that's a lot.
100. Wow, that's a lot for sure. 110. Sure, BKBs remove it though, but it is definitely an interesting choice as we don't see many people do that talent because you always want cast range on Rubik.
Quickly as I go.
And NaVi, yeah, like we said, ensure that they can control the bottom side and so they keep their outpost, get those bounties, and keep that gold. Very, very close. Yeah, incredibly close game so far.
Definitely a bit back and forth.
Other big item now, of course, that Ags is now picked up for Puck. So those BKBs, you can't just BKB Stampede run out of the coil anymore. You have to stand your ground. So that's going to be a big difference maker for Alliance to just be able to set up onto the SF, onto that Drow Ranger.
And we're seeing Nico Baby with the farm that he has with that Basher. He is going to be ready to sort of tear you down through a BKB.
I mean, he has Basher, AC, and the Auto Destruction. He's going to be hitting really hard on this Lifestealer.
Make sure Zayas doesn't get out a single spell. Zayas is gone. He'll buy back. See if NaVi really want to try and force this. The multi-shot's not going to connect on anything at all. As they're already out of range, Alliance, they'll sort of reset.
They still have coil on Alliance too, so you have to be a little iffy, a little careful on NaVi how far forward you do step still.
Buyback on Zayas used and the Stampede expended. So definitely a bit of a danger zone here for NaVi if Alliance are quick to get in with a play, and they are. There's the smoke. Alliance, they know this is their chance to really hit NaVi where it hurts.
Oh, they've got real good vision of the core. All three cores were just standing on top of each other for a second there. They see the Drow.
Whoever they jump on is going to fall very, very quickly. If they can get the lifesteal on top of them, he is used. There's Hanskin. He finds the lead and he finds the Drow. That's one. And there's Fada in with the 3-man overgrowth. And now Nico Baby, he's ready to go to work. He's taken down the two of them, tries to turn towards the SF. SF will be able to get away with the Shadow Blade, but Zayas does not have the same sort of luxury. Triple kill for Nico Baby's lifestealer as Alliance hitting those timings perfectly. They see an opportunity. They do not hesitate to take it. And not only winning the team fight without any sort of repercussions, Fada falls, but that's another day in the office for him. Alliance can head into Roshan, get this Aegis and Cheese, and NaVi, they cannot do anything about it.
Well, let's watch this Courier, though. Can the Courier do anything about it? Okay, checks the health really quickly. They saw it. No. They're like, wait a minute. All right, don't let him steal a cheese or anything. All right, let's scatter ourselves.
Oh, the Courier dies.
I love it.
And Alliance, they'll get that Aegis and Cheese for themselves. We'll see that once again. These quick heads-up plays. Fada with that blink into position. There's no escape for NaVi. As this time around, you know, the Shadow Blade, it pays off. It worked. They didn't have detection on Nico Baby on the front lines, but it didn't matter for the overall state of the fight, as Alliance are just able to grow that lead once again. They're now at 4K in a game. The NaVi, before they started making those awkward plays and moves around the map, hunting the tree, and they were the ones ahead. It's really starting to slip away for NaVi now.
Absolutely. And I mean, that ward on top of the shrine, it's a pretty, I mean, it's kind of a common one, the one that they got caught by from the side of Alliance. that one that they have right here, that saw everything. That saw all of Na'Vi heroes kind of standing together, gave Alliance that opportunity. So they're probably going to look to D-ward that one. They're pinging it like crazy too. They know that the vision was there for that type of jump.
Got a little bit of an answer now to the Aghanim's Dream Coil. Aghanim's is done on Pasha, so sure, you're not necessarily able to run out of it, but you'll have at least a little bit of a duration of damage reduction, so your heroes won't die as quickly as they have been whilst they're locked down by these teamfight controlling ultimates such as the Overgrowth of the Dream Coil.
Yeah, really, it did seem like it was probably the best choice for him this game, because he has to just try to find, because they're gonna get caught in the coil.
Yeah, they're gonna catch.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So.
Just got to sort of buff up your abilities to stand there and fight, same as being shown by Magical's build, going for the Satanic, making sure that he also has ways to just stand his ground and fight back, but it's going to be hard. Nico Baby, a full Abyssal Blade. As he heads in, Rage pops as he clears out the illusions. They're trying to shoot him down to crystallize, pushing him back.
He's tanky. Very tanky with this AC. Look at this. 13 plus 22.
The AC, the damage block, the evasion, it all adds up.
Constantly getting living armored up as well, so even more armor. And jump forward. It's on the drop.
It's going to find a way to start things, then forced by the jump, and Nico Baby's going in on him. The number force does get the drought far enough away. Nico Baby doesn't want to dive too far. He turns the pitch it over towards Magical. He's getting back further. He's going to get with the 3-man overgrowth, 33. And they're trying to focus the hill for the chain force. And the duel will live dead. They're lost further. They're going to turn towards Nico Baby. They'll get the
Oh my God.
Only the ones, but no. Nico Baby's living. He's holding down the ones. They cannot kill him. Jumps into 73. Turns over towards the drow. They couldn't get him the once.
Oh my
God. In the tankiness, they cannot kill the Nico Baby.
I mean, he just used that. He dropped what to like 40 HP, but they couldn't bring this man out. He's continuing.
Rage is back up. He bites himself up another tasty morsel. He's got to be level 25 now after the back of that fight. The Lifestealer on fire this game. 13-0-3. Flawless game from Nico Babies. Set up for himself. He had that free lane at the top. He played it perfectly.
And they're just throwing everything on. They have 33 of the Abaddon, just giving him everything. And also, during the fight, Hanskin got godly steals. Stampede stolen.
Ready to go again. Ready to go. Running in on a Magical. Magical will put the mana, remove the open moves. Now Nico Baby turns towards Zayas. He stepped too close. Abyssal Blade jump forward onto the SF. This Lifestealer, absolute monster. BKB and Magical will manage to step back towards the fountain. But the Racks in trouble. Alliance, they're not going anywhere, as these racks will be theirs.
Oh, the attack speed is just so insane when he builds it up with the Abaddon as well. But yeah, just keep buff up Nico Baby. We can see what he can do when you do.
25 seconds until Navi's going to have the full squad up for a defense. And Alliance know they're not going anywhere for that 20 seconds. They're standing in the base, taking further objectives away from Na'Vi. As this will be a second set of racks.
Look at that multi-shot. It hits Nico Baby for absolutely nothing at this point in the game. Just continuing in that front line. He's just, all right, whatever. He just sits back there. 33 sits in range to be able to just constantly shield him. They've got living armor too, as we mentioned.
They've got everyone up, Na'Vi.
And Fada almost got it. Ward.
They're going to try and jump in, but Limpy's going to be the quicker one there on top of the Drow. Drow, he bursts over the stacking with Nico Baby's in. Abyssal Blade. The Drow is gone. No buyback available on Crystallize. Zayas getting low. Nico Baby keeping his eyes on the bigger targets. Takes out the Lich. Goes towards Magical. It's GG. It's over. There's no buybacks for Na'Vi. Alliance take game 3, and with that, the series 2-1. They'll be the boys to move on in the upper bracket as they knock down Na'Vi to the lower.
Oh, that escalated very quickly. They played their draft. I loved it. I love what I see because